Cryptstones creak, and ghosts are about, monsters near and wide. It's time to come in, light a candle, come around to the DM's table to hear tales of horror and adventure. For in the dark, there are so many stories to be told. Let's talk about that. Hello everyone, my name is Michael, and this is my channel, The Natural One. I love Halloween. It is a time of year when really anyone can dress up as anything and nobody will judge them. I am dressed currently here in my Halloween costume right now. A Witcher from the School of the Wolf, along with my two swords, which unfortunately can't really wear in this because sitting down, bit hard. But hey, I'm having a bit of fun. And today, I'm here to talk to you about horror games you can run for your groups. Now, running a horror campaign is usually very difficult to do for anyone really, much less during Halloween. You want to scare your players, and it's hard to scare your players when really the monsters from the books, such as skeletons, ghosts, and whatnot, are very easily taken on. Even the hardest undead, vampires, aren't exactly what you call terrifying anymore. Not when your barbarian is taking half damage to everything at least, and your cleric can heal you from the brink of death. Now, it may be fun to play a high death campaign, which I've done before, but it takes a lot of work, and you know what? Some DMs out there just don't have the time to run it, I'm included. There are plenty of books, Yawning Portal and Call of Cthulhu being two of my favorite stories, which you can get some very scary and horrifying campaigns, but those take time. And for those of you that are last minute scrambling together a Halloween party, I've got some games for you. 10 Candles and Fear. Let's talk about that. 10 Candles is a game that is simplicity at its best. It is a game about survival and a game about the dark. The world has gone dark for some unexplicit reason, and there's monsters everywhere. Creatures from the void, from your worst nightmares. If you love reading SCP files, or creepypastas for that matter, well, this is the game for you. Both of these for that matter. So then, with the world gone dark, we have our heroes, survivors, your players, and there's no need for character creation, as this game can be made and played in the length of 2 to 3 hours. You heard me right, 2 to 3 hours. That also includes creation of the monsters and the story. Because this game, is made right off the cuff, and made by you and the players together. Let's talk about that. How do we play 10 Candles? Well, you need 10 candles. Light them all in a very dark room, preferably with no light if you can get it. The candles will be your only light. Hand out 4 note cards to each of your players, and keep one for yourself as the DM. The players will, on each of these cards, write 4 different things. 1, a vice, which is a bad part or aspect of your character. Then, a virtue, something that is good for them. Then, a hope, something that will bring them hope in the darkness all around them. And finally, the worst of all, a brink. What you are willing to do when the darkest hour arrives. Will you murder? Will you kill? Will you steal? Will you abandon everyone? These will only be told later on in the game. When these are all written down, you'll put them in a certain order, and then the DM will ask for one player to write something down on the note card given to him. He will ask you to write an aspect about the creature that is hunting them. It can be, it smells horrible. It could have the taste of brimstone, or have this weird clicking noise it always makes when it gets nearby. Regardless, it is what it is. The candles are lit, the lights go down, and the DM starts the game by enacting the truths of this world. He will start with the character to his left. The truths of this world are essentially, how do I put it? Things that the players will be putting into the game to help them in this darkness. The truths usually have to be reasonable though. So a truth can be, I have a flashlight. Another truth can be, we have plenty of food and water. Another truth can be, we have a car. And so on and so on. And the first round is the first 10 truths, with the final truth being told by the DM. The world is dark, and you are alive. The players will say this all in unison, and then a recording is given to each one for them to leave a final message. It can be anything, really. And they will be saying it into this recording device before the game begins. They'll be given back to the DM to save for a later date. The DM will begin to narrate the story, and as the story goes on, he can give them challenges. The players, as challenges come up, can roll for these. All it requires is a d6. 6s are successes, and 1s are then pulled from the pile. You start with 10 d6, and as you, say, need to repair a tire on your car, the player will take the dice all in his hands or in a cup, roll them, put them on the table, and for every 6, we have a success. However, the 1s are put away, given to the DM, until the scene is over. Once all the dice have rolled 1s, or when you finally fail, rolling no 6s on a test, we move on to the next scene. The DM will then start again, this time with 9 truths of this world. The players will continue to tell, starting with the player who failed his roll, and move on. The game will continue as the players see more and more strange and scary things of this dark world, this world that makes no sense anymore. A world gone black. You'll eventually go down, and the DM, now that you are missing a die, because a die is taken away every time a candle goes out, as you fail each scene, the DM will start rolling against the players. For every 6 he rolls, he gets a success, and he can start countering the players for narrative control. When the players succeed, they may say, we fixed this tire, but if the DM succeeds, he may beats them. But the players succeed, he may say you succeed, but he might add in a little caveat. Your tire is fixed, but you think you can only get 25 miles on it. Things along those lines to start sabotaging the players. And as we keep going down from 9 to 8 to 7 to 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 candles, the game goes into the DM's hand more and more and more, until we're finally down to 1. 1 candle in the dark. This is the last stand. Players will be using their virtues and vices throughout the game to help re-roll things, and the hope will give them an extra free die on certain situations. Finally coming down to the brink, the players will be able to re-roll all the dice they roll, but they will have to do horrific things for it. And when the players finally fail on their last die, all the players die. For that is the nature of this dark world. And the final candle is blown out. The final words are said. The world is dark, and we are all dead. The recording is played in the blackest of night, or dark as you can get. And the players think about the characters they've lost, and the story that was been told. Now I'm running out of time here, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to start on the next video telling you about the next horror game that we have available, Fear. And I can't wait to talk about that in the next video. And I look forward to hearing about your stories in the comments below. Have a good day.